Hi there, it's Ann at Life LDC. It's Sunday afternoon. This is Thanksgiving weekend here in Canada, so it's a quiet weekend. The holiday is tomorrow on Monday, so I'm just having a quiet weekend here trying to catch up on some knitting. So I thought I'd have a quick catch up on the summer since I haven't done any monthly updates. The summer was just too hot, to be honest, and I got a little bit sidetracked, which I will explain to you in just a moment. So in my year of Fair Isle knitting, this is my major project for this year, and it's Musa from the Marie Wallin Shetland collection. It's a big oversized, like I call it, like a tabard style. It's very straight, it hangs, it's supposed to be oversized. It's supposed to be oversized to hang. It has side slits. So I was merrily knitting along on the front piece here, and you can see it's a significant piece of knitting. And then the summer came full on, and this year, oh, I know everybody's complaining about how hot it was, and I'm sure, right, you can agree, right? Almost like too hot for knitting. But it also coincided, July is the release of the new Rowan seasonal brochures and yarns for the fall, so I got caught up in doing reviews from them, and I hope you've seen some of them. I did some little knits, hats, and things, and I also finished this. It's really huge. It's the Cafe colorful scarf from the front of the Cafe's colors collection for this fall. I absolutely love these colors, and while I was looking around at the Rowan 40th anniversary information on the net, I saw this picture, and it was this scarf styled this way as a wrap, sort of down the front, and then held in place with a big belt. And I thought, wow, that's really cute. So I thought I'd give that a try today, because this way it keeps it in place and keeps it out of my way while I'm doing the video. Have you been to any of the Rowan 40th anniversary events in your area? Are there any in your area? I did a video of going up to the Needle Emporium and Knitting Camp, because this year they were celebrating Rowan's 40th anniversary. Julie at the Needle Emporium has been a Rowan stockist forever, since she started her store, and she, back in the day, was a Rowan-at, which meant the store had a significant amount of Rowan stock, and now she's been designated Rowan flagship store here in Canada. There are 3 flagship stores in Ontario: Needle Emporium, my local, Romney in Toronto if you're a Toronto person, and Woolen Things in Ottawa if you're up in the Ottawa area. All 3 stores are having Rowan anniversary events, so check them out, and go check out the new garments and the things that have been brought in for the anniversary, like this. The Rowan anniversary mug. I picked this up while I was at the knitting camp, and I just love it. It reminds me of Rowan every time I look at it. It's a very classy mug, beautifully made. And it keeps my tea warm. Do you remember the Rowan crochet along Lisa Richardson's big blanket? Not this blanket. This is the Martin Story second blanket knit along. It's here behind me. But the Lisa Richardson crochet along blanket. It's in my cupboard. I've tidied up, and it's in my cupboard. I have a few squares to complete, and then I'll be doing the edging, and then it will have pride of place on the back of my couch for a future video episode, I hope, fingers crossed. Gosh, too many projects, not enough time. I'm sure you can relate to that, right? So I wanted to tell you about a new crochet along, again, a Lisa Richardson design. Lisa Richardson's new crochet along is a scarf. It is 3 weeks of hints or tips or instructions, so it's not a big huge project. It includes crochet and an interesting weaving technique that she's used before in a couple of garments in the Rowan magazines. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'll put a link to the materials page down below. Now it calls for Kid Silk Haze and cotton cashmere. I don't have any cotton cashmere on hand, and I'm going to make this a stash busting project. So I'm going to do some stash diving and see what I come up with. But if you'd like to see, if you're heading off to your yarn store and you want to use the exact materials that Rowan calls for, as I say, I'll put the link to the materials list below. But looks like an interesting project, and it's not going to be terribly onerous, and I think you'll be able to whip it up and either keep it for yourself or make a Christmas gift out of it. So looking forward to that, and I'll be doing some demonstrations on the techniques for you. So if you need help, I'll be here to help you. Okay. Back to my Musa. So I did the whole front, big piece of knitting, and then I totally stalled. I cast on for the rib, and it's been sitting on a needle. And then I realized, whoa, Anne, you want to wear this the last week in November, which, you know, sounds like a long way away, but it really isn't all that long away, especially when you're talking about a serious piece of knitting. So if you want to get something done by a particular time, you need to come up with a plan. So what I did was I had a good look at this piece and I broke it down. Each main repeat, so from here to here, Piri, small pattern, Piri, big pattern, that is a repeat. And on this piece there are 1, 2, 3, 4 repeats of that. They're 60 rows each. So I did some math and I figured out the days, and it turns out the number of days, and it turns out I need to knit at least 8 rows a day. So if I can get ahead of my schedule, that's fine, but I have to do at least 8 rows a day. I'm trying not to fall behind. And if I do that, I will be finished the main body of this knitting by the end of October, and I'll be able to put it together, do all the ends, do the stand-up neckline, and do the finishing on the armholes, have that all done. And I'm giving myself, yes, 3 weeks to do that, because those kind of things take forever and they're fiddly, and you forget, you forget to do things. And so what do you think? Can I do it? Wish me luck. Maybe I'll post updates on Instagram. When I'm knitting, I tend to watch Netflix, and I also pop around the world of video bloggers on YouTube. I watch knitters, of course, and I also watch tech guys. I like to see what tech guys are up to in the world of Apple and, software and whatever. But anyway, one of the knit bloggers that I watched right from the beginning is Kristy Glass. And she's grown her video blog into, it's a job for her. She blogs every day, and it's, she talks to all sorts of people I've never heard of before. She visits people, she does her 15-minute conversations, whatever. And even though her knitting world and my knitting world are totally different, they're from different chunks of the knitting world. I'm very traditional, and I'm very focused. Rowan, Marie Wallin, Martin Story, the Rowan designers, the Rowan yarn. It's interesting. I'm always interested in what Kristy's got to say, and I was very pleasantly surprised when our little virtual blog worlds clashed the other day, or not clashed, came into alignment, symbiotic maybe, I don't know, what's the word? Anyway, I having breakfast, and I turned on YouTube, and yeah, there's a new upload from Kristy Glass, and what is it? Oh my God, she's sitting there, and she was wearing And I'm looking for the picture right now. I should have had my finger in it. She's wearing Finnoulah. And, you know, it's from Marie Wallin's Winter Crochet. I love that design, but I just thought that done in felted tweed Aran it would be a bit heavy. And so Kristy Glass, in her way, she does it in La Bien-Aimée Superwash Aran in a most beautiful gold, and she's had it done, and so when she went off to Paris, she modeled it in front of La Bien-Aimée, and that's what I mean about she works her blog. She plans it, you know, her video blog. She had it all done. She went to Paris, and guess where she wore it? Right in front of La Bien-Aimée. So poor Kristy, her copy of Winter Crochet was damaged. Her iron leaked all over it. So she had this poor, pathetic, droopy copy of Winter Crochet. So I'm actually going to send her a new copy because I happen to have 2 spare copies. And it's a long story how I ended up with 2 spare copies. I have my copy and I have 2 spare copies. So I'm going to send Kristy a new copy. And I'm also going to offer to one of you guys watching a copy of Winter Crochet. So if you'd like to be in the draw for a copy of Marie Wallin's Winter Crochet, please leave a comment below. Tell me what design in this book that you would love to knit, and would you change the yarn up? What would you do? Let me know. Will you take inspiration from Kristy Glass, or will you use the original Rowan yarn as per the design? I'm always interested to see how people more adventuresome than I change things up. It's quite inspirational. So leave your Ravelry name below to be considered for the draw. I'll also be putting this same information on Instagram. And I do have to make a disclaimer here that once the name has been drawn, and I'll do that at the end of October before my next vlog update, I'll contact the person, and if they don't get back to me within a reasonable time, I'm going to have to contact someone else, and I'm not sure exactly what a reasonable time is. I'll sort of figure that out, okay? So put your name in. Watch out for me contacting you on Ravelry to let you know that you've won, and get back to me, please. The big excitement for me and a lot of other fans of Marie Wallin this month was the release of Marie's new British Breeds yarn. And one of the things she offered is the British Breeds gift box. And it's sort of like a shade card, but it's in a box and it has all the shades of yarn in it. So I tell you, I was so excited when this came. Look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Subtle gray, has this little tab that you pull up. This is magnetic closure. And when you open it up, there's one of Marie's project bags. And all 12 shades of her new yarn. So this is like a super shade card in a box because you've got a whole skein of every shade of the new yarn to play with. Well, of course, that wouldn't be any good without a selection of exclusive patterns. 4 patterns here. Little description of how this all came about, how the yarn's produced by John Arbor for her. And little printed color card. and the 4 patterns. Aren't they cute? Forest Tam, Meadow Mittens, I'll put some pictures up here, Meadow Mittens, Glade Cowl, and I think my absolute favorite, the Glen Fingerless Mittens. And I just love how each design is worn with a corresponding garment from Wildwood. Wildwood is the design collection that Marie's created. So that once you've had your little tasting, you can jump right into a garment. Or some people have just totally passed this whole yarn tasting idea and got straight into the patterns that are in the Wildwood collection, and I'm going to talk about that now. So here's my copy of Wildwood. I haven't even taken it out of the wrapper yet. I've been busy helping out Marie. I add her new patterns to the Ravelry database. It's sort of a geeky thing I like to do. I like the detail of it, and I like the format of putting it in and having her. And at the same time, I have a really good look at the patterns. So I've already put the Wildwood patterns into Ravelry. And just this morning, I added the 4 accessories collection from the British Breeds gift box. So they're all there on Ravelry. So if you'd like to jump into Wildwood, the information's all there for you. Okay, here we go. I've got it out of the wrapper. This is the same size and the same feel as Marie's Shetland collection. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview. What I'll do is I'll put the pictures here of the actual designs so you can have a look at them. The Wildwood collection is a mixture of sweaters and accessories. The first design in the book is called Hawthorne, and it's the cover design. And I love this this sweater. It's the one that's done in the little video clip that Marie put out regarding the collection. And it's a beautiful ferrule. The body is plain and it's got a yoke, ferrule yoke on it. This design is done in one piece. The body's done in one piece, and then it's steeked up the front. And I can't say too much about this. I just love it. I love the strength of the yoke pattern, and I love the little tiny bit above the rib. And I love the way the buttons don't go right down to the bottom, because everybody wears their sweaters like this, right? They don't ever button them right down to the bottom. So there you go. I like that one. The second collection in the book is the Walnut Tam. Marie has quite a few tam designs in her repertoire, and this is just gorgeous. I love the corrugated rib. It's a one-size-fit-all, and there's quite a significant increase after the rib to the body of the hat. So I think it's going to be that real tam shape that I preferred, not the close beanie fit that is great, but it just doesn't suit me. It might suit you, but it just doesn't suit me. The next design, Holly, is knit in pieces. It's a very Actually, it's similar to the Moussa styling, but it's not as oversized. It's a more refined cut to the body, and it has the little armhole finishing rib, and the neckline is just like a crew neck neckline finishing. It's gorgeous too. The main shade uses the raw. And most of these designs use almost all the shades in the color palette. This one uses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the 12 shades. Then comes You, the all-over textured design. Marie has been doing at least one of these per collection, heavily detailed but fine textured design. It's done in pieces and sewn together, and this one is shown in Marie's new lime flower color. Gorgeous green. We all know that Marie loves green, and this is just perfect. This just suits her perfectly. The Rowan cowl is a great design to start off if you're new to Fair Isle knitting. It's one size only. It's not a big huge cowl. It sits a little bit closer to your neck. It's knit in the round, and it uses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of the 12 shades of Marie Wallin's new yarn. So Wild Rose is a tunic style, very similar to Sage, if you know Marie's designs at all. No pockets in this one, but you could put pockets in it if you wanted. It uses all 12 shades of the British Breeds yarn, and it is knit in pieces also. Little 3/4 length sleeves are great, and the corrugated rib is a really nice touch. The oak cardigan is a bit of a wraparound style. The two front pieces can overlap and be pinned, or you can leave them loose. This one has 10 shades of the new British Breeds yarn, and it's knit in pieces and sewn together. I know you guys always like to know that because of this whole steeking thing. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Marie's new yarn steeks. The maple scarf uses 10 shades, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yes. The maple scarf uses 10 shades of the British Breeds yarn, and it's knit in the round, and once you're finished, you sew the open ends together to seal it off and it gives you a nice double layer scarf, completely reversible, no right side. Doesn't matter which way you tie it, you're always going to get that lovely Fair Isle sitting out the front. The birch yoke sweater uses 8 designs of Marie's British Breeds yarn. It's knit in the round. You join the sleeves and the body together to complete the yoke. The main color in the one shown in the book is Eau de Nil. Eau de Nil. I'm not sure how to. I always want to say Eau de Nil, but Eau de Nil. I'm not sure. I guess color of the Nile. Eau de Nil. I really should look that up. With the yoke around the yoke pattern around the top, it's just beautifully elegant. So simple but so striking. Absolutely gorgeous. I really love this one, and I love the colors that are used in it. It's really high up on my fantasy Q list, the ever-growing fantasy Q list. Sycamore arm warmers, they use 10 shades of the British Breeds. I did her arm warmer design from the Shetland collection, and she writes the pattern so that you can either knit them flat and seam them up, or knit them in the round, either on a large circular, magic loop method, or double pointed needles. It's up to your, whatever you prefer. I love the arm warmer idea because it's a great satisfying little knit. Keeps you really nice and warm when you keep your pulse points warm. So I'm really looking at these two. They're really gorgeous. And the last design in the book is called Chestnut. It's a cardigan with set-in sleeves, long sleeves, corrugated rib. It's knit in pieces and sewn together. I love the color on this one. Well, I don't know. I love them all. The colors in this box are perfect for me. I'm an autumn, and even though I'm getting away with this color, the funny thing is, as I'm getting older, my hair used to be really bright red, and so I was a true autumn. And if I wore things that didn't suit me, I sort of looked like, just didn't suit me at all. But now that my hair's faded out and there's so much gray in it, I can I'm sort of like very pale. I can wear these stronger colors, but I can still wear my autumn colors too. And the best autumn colors for me are true strong autumn. So I'm loving all the colors in this gift box, and to be honest, I just can't wait to dive into here. So only one design is steeked, and it's this front cover design. So don't be scared of the steeking. Marie's got instructions in the back here on how to steek and how to treat the steek before you cut. And you know me, I always have my own opinions on how to steek, so I'm going to test the British breeds out to see if it can just be steamed and cut with no treatment, because I like getting rid of those ends right up the front. So this is going to be a really knit-packed month. I'm going to stick to my schedule, and that's how you get things done. That's how I got this done, because this was a big knit. And I'm going to get Moussa done, and I'm going to get all set for the winter. And I hope you guys are all lining up all your projects for the winter, and that you've got a productive and exciting knit program set up for your winter's entertainment. So until next month, happy knitting.